Let me ask you something. What if just 7 days could shift the way you see yourself, the way you breathe, love, and live? Not a miracle, not magic, just choices, honest, uncomfortable, beautiful choices, because real change doesn't happen in a grand moment of inspiration. It happens in the quiet repetition of courage. And if you give yourself these next 7 days, just 7, and commit fully, you won't just feel different, you'll be different. This week isn't about being someone new. It's about remembering who you were before fear, doubt, and shame told you otherwise. Each day will ask you to do one small thing that feels uncomfortable but honest, to step into your truth, not perfectly, but bravely. Here's the truth: transformation doesn't come from waiting for motivation. It comes from showing up when no one's watching, when no one's cheering, when it's just you versus your excuses. So if you're ready to stop existing and start living, if you're ready to stop surviving and start becoming, then give yourself this gift. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days of truth, 7 days of courage, 7 days that can change everything. Let's begin with day 1, the foundation of all change, self-awareness. Day 1 begins with the hardest but most powerful act: seeing yourself clearly, not the version you perform for the world, not the version that's been shaped by expectations or fear, but the raw, unfiltered you, the one who's been whispering beneath all the noise. Here's what you'll do today. Find a quiet moment and stand in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What am I pretending not to know? Because awareness is where healing starts. You can't change what you refuse to face. You can't grow beyond what you won't name. Maybe you've been numbing your feelings, pleasing everyone but yourself, or living in survival mode for too long. That's okay. Awareness isn't about shame. It's about truth. And truth will always set you free, even when it first breaks your heart. Today, write down 3 things that keep you stuck, not to criticize yourself, but to see yourself. Because when you name the weight, you can finally choose to put it down. Day 1 is about honesty. And when you dare to look at your reflection and say, I'm ready to change, you've already taken the most powerful step. Day 2 is about release, letting go of what no longer serves you. And I'll be honest, this is where most people stop. Because letting go isn't graceful, it's grief. We hold on to what hurts because it feels familiar. We clutch old stories, failed relationships, and false identities like armor, afraid of who we might be without them. But here's the truth: you can't step in your next chapter while rereading the last one. Today, I want you to do one simple but sacred act. Identify what's weighing you down. It might be a resentment you've been feeding, a habit that keeps you small, or a relationship that drains your spirit. Write it down, say it out loud, and then choose to release it. You don't need to forgive everything. You don't need to have closure. You just need to stop carrying what's not yours anymore. Because the moment you let go, even a little, life rushes in to fill the space you freed. Letting go isn't weakness. It's the highest form of strength. It's saying, I deserve peace more than I need control. So today, breathe deeply. Exhale the past. Day 3 is not about pushing harder. It's about softening. Because transformation doesn't just come from strength, it comes from gentleness too. We live in a world that glorifies hustle and punishes vulnerability. We're told to toughen up, to get over it, to keep going, even when our hearts are begging us to pause. But healing doesn't happen through force, it happens through compassion. Today's challenge is simple. Speak to yourself like someone you love. Every time that inner critic whispers, you're not enough, respond with truth. I am trying, and that is enough, because you cannot shame yourself into growth. You can only love yourself there. Self-compassion isn't about ignoring mistakes. It's about holding space for them, acknowledging that imperfection is proof of humanity, not failure. So today, when you make a mistake, don't spiral, pause, breathe, put a hand on your heart and say, I'm learning. That single act rewires the way your brain responds to pain. It turns self-criticism into healing. The most radical thing you can do for your life is to stop treating yourself like an enemy, because the voice you speak to yourself with becomes the home you live in. Make it a safe one. And remind yourself, the hands that once clung to pain are now free to hold purpose. Day 4 is where your growth gets real, because now it's time to protect your peace. And that means one thing: boundaries. Let's be honest, boundaries are uncomfortable, especially if you've spent years believing that love means overextending, fixing, or pleasing. But boundaries aren't walls, they're doors that decide who and what gets access to your energy. Today, your task is to draw one line, just one. A line that says, this is what I will no longer tolerate. It could be saying no to gossip, refusing to justify your feelings, or simply giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. Because every time you say no to something draining, you say yes to something healing. You teach others how to treat you by how you treat yourself. So if you allow disrespect in the name of keeping the peace, you'll always live in chaos. But when you stand firm, calmly, clearly, and consistently, you begin to build a life rooted in self-respect. Boundaries don't push love away. They invite real love in, the kind that honors, not uses. So today, stand tall in your truth. Don't apologize for protecting your energy, because peace is not a privilege. It's your responsibility. And the moment you choose it, your life begins to align with your worth. Day 5 is about shifting your focus from what's missing to what's already here, because gratitude isn't just an emotion. It's a practice that rewires the way you see your life. When you've been through pain, disappointment, or betrayal, it's easy to fall into survival mode, scanning for danger, waiting for the next heartbreak. But gratitude pulls you out of that loop. It brings you back to the present moment where peace actually lives. Today, I want you to pause and list 3 things you're grateful for. Not the big, perfect, Instagram-worthy things, but the quiet ones, the warm cup of tea in your hands, the message from a friend who still checks in, the fact that despite everything, your heart still hopes. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's about recognizing that even in the mess, there's meaning. Even in the darkness, there's light. And when you begin to notice the good, you create more of it. Your energy changes, your perspective softens, and life starts to meet you where your attention goes. Gratitude turns what you have into enough and who you are into abundance. So today, whisper thank you for pain, for the lessons, the pain, the resilience, and the breath that keeps carrying you forward. Because when you choose gratitude, you choose to rise again and again. Day 6 is about something we often forget in our chase for change, being here now. Because so many of us live stuck in time, haunted by yesterday or anxious about tomorrow, that we forget the only moment that truly belongs to us is this one. Presence is not about slowing down your life. It's about waking up to it. It's realizing that joy isn't hidden in the future. It's in the sip of your morning coffee, the laughter that escapes without planning, the way sunlight hits your skin when you pause long enough to notice today's challenge. Put your phone down, step outside, take 3 deep, deliberate breaths, feel your body, listen to the world around you, because presence doesn't ask for perfection. It just asks for attention. The truth is, life is always whispering to you through the people you meet, the moments you rush past, the stillness you avoid. But when you stop long enough to listen, you realize you've never been lost, just distracted. Presence heals what overthinking breaks. It's where peace lives, where creativity grows, and where connection begins. So today, don't rush through your moments, inhabit them. Because the miracle you've been waiting for isn't coming someday, it's already here. Right now, day 7, the final step, is all about courage, not the loud, dramatic kind that shouts from mountaintops, but the quiet, steady kind that whispers, I'll try again today. Courage isn't about never feeling afraid. It's about choosing to move with the fear. It's about showing up for yourself, even when your voice shakes, even when your knees tremble, even when the outcome is unknown. Today, I want you to do one brave thing. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be honest. Send that message you've been avoiding, speak your truth, take the first step toward the dream you've been postponing. Or maybe forgive yourself for the things you didn't know back then, because courage isn't built overnight, it's built one decision at a time. And every time you choose bravery over comfort, your life expands just a little more. You start realizing that fear was never a stop sign, it was a doorway. A test to see if you'd rather stay small or finally rise. And when you choose courage, you rewrite the story of your life, from one of hesitation to one of becoming. So today, take that step, because courage doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It creates it. By day 7, something inside you shifts quietly but unmistakably. You start realizing that these daily choices aren't just habits, they're acts of becoming. You've faced your truth. You've let go of what hurt. You've spoken to yourself with kindness, drawn your boundaries, practiced gratitude, and chosen presence. And now your energy feels different. Your heart beats lighter. The world somehow that feels softer. This is the ripple of change. The moment you realize transformation doesn't come from massive leaps, it comes from small, intentional steps that compound into something sacred. The way you breathe changes, the way you react shifts. You start responding to life instead of merely surviving it. You no longer chase peace, you embody it, and the people around you will notice. They'll feel your calm, they'll see your glow, because when you begin to heal, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. Change isn't contagious because it's loud, it's contagious because it's real. So let this be your reminder. The person you're becoming isn't waiting somewhere far ahead. They're already here, beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the version you've been shedding all week. This isn't the end of a challenge, it's the beginning of a new way of living. 7 days, 7 choices, 7 moments where you showed up, even when it was uncomfortable, uncertain, or quiet. And now, here you are, not a new person, but a truer one, because transformation isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been underneath the fear, the noise, and the doubt. These 7 days weren't a challenge. They were a mirror, a reflection of your resilience. your softness, your power. You didn't just change your habits, you changed your energy. You shifted from reacting to responding, from surviving to living, from hoping to becoming. So what happens next? You keep going. You keep choosing awareness over avoidance, letting go over holding tight, compassion over criticism, boundaries over burnout, gratitude over scarcity, presence over distraction, courage over comfort, because transformation isn't something you do once, it's something you live. There will be hard days, and that's okay. You'll stumble, and that's human. But remember, the work isn't to be perfect. The work is to return again and again back to your truth. So as this 7-day journey ends, let me say this, you are no longer waiting for your life to begin. It already has.